Hey guys, welcome back to Kingdom Lifestyle. Continuing on relationships, here's a thought that Paul shares with us. This is 2 Corinthians 5:16. He says this, "From now on, therefore, we regard no one according to the flesh. Even though we once regarded Christ according to the flesh, we regard him thus no longer." He says this, he says, hey, we used to see Jesus through this natural lens. We used to regard him through the flesh. We used to see the natural stuff about him. This dude's from Nazareth, he's a carpenter, this kind of thing. But he says, we regard him thus no longer. We see who he really is. We see that he's not just a guy, he's not just a carpenter, he's the Son of God. And that God has sent him, and that God has called him to things, and we have a revelation of him. We don't see him according to the flesh, we see him according to the Spirit, what's true in the Spirit about him. And he says, we also regard nobody else according to the flesh. In other words, he's saying, man, I see Jesus through the lens of who he is in heaven. And he's commending to us, he's saying, guys, I don't see anyone through who they are in the natural. I only see who they are in terms of what God has made them to be, in terms of who they are in the Spirit, the fact that Jesus has paid a price for them, the fact that he wants to make them a new creation. They're deeply loved, and they're meant to be sons and daughters of God. He says, that's how I see people. And in kingdom relationships, I think that we're supposed to see people that same way. People have mistakes and failures, sometimes they treat us well and sometimes they treat us poorly, and it's so easy to begin to see people through the lens of that stuff. When Paul says, I don't see them through that natural stuff, the only way I look at people is through the revelation of who God has made them to be. And I think that's the way we're supposed to see ourselves, or to see other people in these kingdom relationships. See people the way God has made them to be. And you'll be seeing people the way that Jesus did, and you'll be able to live Jesus today. Awesome. Bless you guys.